Following the market success of the Savage and Ruger precision rimfires, CZ has come out with their own factory-built precision rifle. They put their 457 in a CZ-designed all-aluminum chassis, added a Luth AR buttstock, user-adjustable trigger, and a heavy bull barrel. And if you think that's a mouthful, you should say the model's name. The CZ457 Varmint Precision Chassis. How good is it? Well, I'm going to take it practically right out of the box to a 100-yard match. One thing to note is that each rifle is individually hand-tested before leaving the factory. It comes with a proofing sheet showing you how well your rifle printed a 5-shot group from 50 yards fired from their testing bench. The match was held at the Sheriff's Department's new Law Enforcement Training Center, hosted by the Rifle and Pistol Club, of which I'm a member. And as we set up for this match, now would be a good opportunity for you to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And when you get a chance, check out my new channel, Moondog R&D, a channel focused on gadget reviews, photo and video gear, and stuff you can geek out on. Thankfully, I was able to zero out the scope before the match, but unfortunately, what I didn't have was the time to find out which ammo this particular rifle prefers. Not that I have any options to choose from. 22 long rifle ammo in general is still nearly impossible to find in the Bay Area. I have a few boxes and partial boxes of match-grade ammo that I've been testing in regular semi-automatics in previous episodes, but not quite enough to test in this rifle and complete the match, so I thought it best to go with what I had on hand. Before the match, while zeroing out the scope, I tested out 2 lead round nose ammos that I had a reasonable supply of: CCI Standard Velocity and Federal Auto Match. I went with the CCI Standards because they grouped better, though I did note that it took a little bit more effort to seat into battery. It would have come as a surprise to me if the Federal Auto Match grouped better, because the CCI Standards are a subsonic round, and at 100 yards, the Auto Match would drop to transonic speed and, in theory, be less stable in flight. The CZ's factory trigger was set at 3 pounds out of the box. It had a clean, crisp break without a hint of over-travel. The trigger is user-adjustable down to 2 pounds, though some have reported being able to bring it down to 1.5 pounds. I kept it factory stock for the match. Not like I had the time to futz with the trigger, but more importantly, I really wanted to get a feel for how this rifle shoots out of the box to get a good baseline. The course of fire had us taking 10 shots per target within a 10-minute period, and since the magazine included with the rifle was only a 5-rounder, I had to reload halfway through every target. So certainly on my to-do list before the next match is to buy a 10-round magazine. The advantage of the 5-round magazine is that it sits fairly flush along the bottom of the chassis. Fully reloaded, I proceeded to shoot the next 5 rounds on my 10-round target. At this point, I'd like to reiterate that I am shooting this straight out of the box. There was no preparation of the barrel, no pre-cleaning, no pre-seasoning, no lubing of the action. It ran butter smooth and flawlessly throughout the entire match. Despite the forced reload, I was able to complete all 10 shots on my target within the 10-minute period quite comfortably. And that isn't some sort of flex on my marksmanship ability, it has more to do with how effortless it was to fire this rifle. Our first target complete, and after a 3-minute break to allow shooters to re-zero and retest on the top target, we proceeded to shoot on target number 2. and my first shot was right in the X. Unfortunately, the next shot was a bit of a flyer, coming in low of center in the number 7 ring, the outermost ring of the black. Now, even with a 24 power scope, it's a little challenging to spot 22 hits on paper, especially when they're in the black. While I couldn't discern exactly where all of my shots were landing, I could tell with confidence that I was doing fairly well since all of my shots were in the black, and there were no holes on the more visible white of the paper. We were shooting on official NRA A23 sized 50-yard small bore targets at 100 yards. The black of the bullseyes are 3.875 inches in diameter. Now, some of you may have noticed that horizontal target hung below my match target. Well, I had hung it there before the match with the hopes that after the match I'd have an opportunity to test some partial boxes of ammo in the rifle. But you know how things go. After the match, I ended up chatting with some of the other competitors and I never ended up using that target. I'm going to drastically speed things up here for the sake of time. Halfway through the match, we got a chance to walk down range and check our targets. I was feeling pretty good since all of my shots so far had been in black. And then we proceeded to finish off our last 2 targets. We're, again, 40 shots in total for the scoring. Our match director used a phone app to score our targets, and it automatically generated a scoring report, which I reformatted and I'm showing you here. Now overall, I came in 4th in the 22 long rifle group, which was great. Yay for me. Okay, so let's take a look at these targets in the context of how this rifle performed. Now, I grayed out target number 3 because my friend in the next lane accidentally shot on my target, and those holes would throw off the averages here. Looking only at targets 1, 2, and 4 and averaging out those 30 shots, I got an average group size of 1.98 inches, which is awesomely disappointing if you are an experienced precision shooter with a tuned rifle shooting match-grade ammo. This is none of those things. Considering I took a brand new rifle out of the box and to a match and used just regular, everyday, off-the-shelf, consumer-grade ammo, this rifle actually performed surprisingly well, all things considered. What I can say definitively is that this rifle can shoot better than the operator, especially this operator. So, on the plus side, I am impressed with the rifle's fit and finish, and quite satisfied with its performance. On the downside, it is almost double the price of a Ruger or Savage precision rimfire rifle, to which I say, buy once, cry once. And hey, you don't see me crying. So if you liked this review, please hit that like button, or hit the unlike button if you didn't like this episode, and let me know in the comments what you thought could have been better. And leave me a comment if you have any suggestions about which ammo you think would run really well in this rifle. Be sure to hit that bell icon to be notified when I post new episodes. And hit that Moondog logo to subscribe to the channel. Thanks again for watching. You be safe out there. Moondog, out. Hey, if you like this video, please share it on social media. You know, Facebook, forums, MeWe, whatever platform you're on. And if you want to see more videos, check out moondogindustries.com.